Hello, wonderful people. It is me, MarysWifey. Today is the day I'll finally release a guide on the newest survivor, Anne Lester, or Annie, as I like to call her. To give a bit of background, I am a B badge on her and she officially is my third main, and I have been messing up with her so hard in quick matches that I ended up knowing how to play her, and that I ended up having the fucking confidence to actually play her in ranked. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the guide. Who is Annie? Anne Lester is a kiter and a support. She has 4 external traits. Delicate toy. She has 2 catapults. There is a cooldown for the launching and the gliding. The launching cooldown is 25 seconds and the gliding cooldown is 30 seconds. She can also jump and use her glide without needing the catapult to do so. Soothing toy. While not being able to use any of the items that she collected, she can still store the items to give it to her teammates. She can store up to 3 items. Gaze afar. She is able to see the survivor's location when gliding. And finally, Mat Collector. Her speed at opening chests increases by 100%. The main trait that will be talked about in this video will be Delicate Toy, since Soothing Toy will not be as used as Delicate Toy, and I will speak about that as well. I'll however take the time to mention Soothing Toy and how it works in order for you to know how to use it in case you are able to. The personal builds. Different personal builds can be used on Annie. 3-9 and 3-6. 3-9. 3-9 is borrowed time with broken windows. Borrowed time is a requirement in order to ensure that when the last cipher pops, you can get back up and have a speed boost. Broken windows can help you gain distance with the hunter to be able to place a catapult and use it. This however will not be recommended by me since placing a catapult mid-kite can be extremely risky. The speed boost can also permit you to transition to a spot in which there is a catapult for you to use and put more distance between the hunter and you. I would recommend using this build if you prefer to use Annie as a kiter and do not plan to rescue. 3-6. 3-6 is borrowed time with Tide Turner. Tide Turner is a trait that will make teammates able to last for 20 extra seconds until they get downed again. It is also called Last Effort. This trait can be extremely helpful and save more time for your teammates to decode. I would recommend using this build if you prefer to use Annie as a rescuer and if you feel confident enough to kite without 3-9. This is the build that I personally use on her, since Annie has a lot of potential as a rescuer with her gliding ability. She can counter hunters like Dream Witch and Bloody Queen that would be able to hit rescuers from afar to stop them from rescuing. The glide will permit Annie to prevent this from happening. If you're lucky enough, you can even make the hunter accidentally hit the chair while gliding. Which maps fit her best? I will create 3 categories for that part. Ideal maps, decent maps, and not so ideal. You can find Moonlit River Park, Lakeside Village, Sacred Heart Hospital, Leo's Memory, Ever Sleeping Town, and Chinatown in the ideal maps. Those maps have high spots that Annie can use to glide without having to depend on the catapults. You can find Red Church in the decent maps. This map may require you to rely on your catapults if you want to glide. It however has many great spots that still makes this map good for Annie. You can find Arms Factory in the not so ideal map. This map absolutely requires you to use your catapult to be able to glide, and even if you find good spots for Annie to use her catapults, her ability will not be optimized as much as in the ideal maps. Where and when can I place the catapults? To give a general rule for any maps, place the catapults when you are decoding dangerous ciphers. And by dangerous ciphers, I mean ciphers with no good palettes or windows or spots in which you know you can't kite in. Knowing the spawns can help you know at which direction you can place the catapults. If you don't know, placing the catapult at the direction of a good kiting spot is the safest option. You do not need to place catapults at the beginning of the game. You, however, can use it to transition away when the hunter comes your way. And well, you need to have your catapults prepared beforehand, obviously. And This can be a way to not be first chase in a ranked match, but this won't always work, so always be prepared to kite. You also can place catapults at spots you know you'll kite in order to help you last longer against the hunter, and you really need to prepare this. And I would recommend going into custom games and custom matches to create those kiting roads, as we could call it, for you to use them in actual matches. When it comes to rescues, you can place a catapult at a certain distance from the chair. I highly recommend you to hide where you place the catapult in order for the hunter not to predict you. If you're highlighted and want to rescue, for example, it is fine. You, however, need to take the fact that the hunter will expect you into consideration. There are specific spots in the map that are very, very great spots. I'll show a few of them that I found about from playing with other Annies, from videos dedicated to it, and that I will link in the description right below as well, along with a gameplay that I did that could be a very great example of everything I'm talking about right now, and from my own experience with the character. If you want me to do a video about all the good catapult spots, you also can let me know in the comments right below, because I'll take my time to do it for each map. And finally, since she only has 2 catapults, it is very important to stay wise about how and what you will use it for. Make sure to always take your catapult back when you no longer need it at the spot to be able to reuse it again. Because the hunter can and will break your catapult and you'll be left with only 1 catapult, which will not be very practical. So please be wise about it. Where and when not to place the catapults. I will say it now. Do not place catapults mid-kite!
Denied.
Unless you time it right, which you most likely will not. Do not place the catapult mid-kite. It takes a long time to place a catapult. The hunter will be able to catch you up. And even if you were to jump on the catapult, if the hunter hits you, it cancels the animation and you will not be able to jump on it again for 25 seconds. So please be wise with the catapults. And I'm saying this, but I've been doing this in quick matches. But that's me being insane. I am not a good example there. But anyways, do not place a catapult at a spot in which the hunter will go before you, because the hunter will most likely break the catapult before you can even use it. Please make sure that the catapult stays close enough to you so that you can use it before it gets broken. This also happened to me. I wanted to quit the match. Anyways. And finally, avoid placing catapults at hard spots. Hard spots are places in which placing the catapult may result in you hitting the ceiling or the wall. I would recommend going into solo training first in order to entirely master how to do it before doing it in an actual match. Those are a few examples of hard spots. You are, however, very welcome to use those spots to your advantage once you properly master it. It will give you a great advantage. Soothing toy. What will be an Annie guide without speaking about one of her external traits in depth? Soothing toy. She can either put down or throw items at survivors. She can even aim where to throw the item. It is also very interesting to specify that Annie can also throw items while gliding. This can maybe be useful to you in certain circumstances, so it always is something that is nice to know about her. It is very important to specify that she can't use any of the items that she keeps, and that this skill will be useless with survivors like Priestess, Embalmer, Prisoner, Postman, Seer, and so on. Basically, survivors that can't carry any other items. Please keep that in mind. Lastly, do not look through chests at the beginning of the game. It is important to decode for your team. You can, for example, open the chest when you have to help your teammate with the item that you have, for example. Annie is a pretty easy character to play, at least easier than I thought she would be. She still does take a bit of practice to understand her and to use her optimally. She is a very situational survivor, but can still adapt herself to every single maps of the game, thanks to her catapults. I hope that this video helped you with Annie. If you have any questions regarding her, do not hesitate to ask me in the comments. I'll be there to answer. Thank you for watching. Please share, like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. And I wish you a great day. And before going, I may need to thank one of my friends for motivating me to actually make this video. Because I genuinely was not that confident about making it, and I made it. And I'm really proud of it. So yeah, thank you to that friend. Anyways, on a real note, goodbye and take care of yourselves.